Holy cats! This is definitely the best turnout for recruiting signing day in K-State history. So I appreciate you guys coming today, and it's about the kids and listen to me talk about the kids and what our staff did this season and putting together a great class. We signed 23 guys today. 17 will be mid-year, 4 out of junior college and 19 out of high school. One kid that is signed with us that's an international kid that actually came to camp over the summer, which is awesome. To think that a guy came all the way overseas to come to camp and perform well enough to get offered, and we were able to recruit him. Thought we did a really good job with our O-line group in this class. We put together 5 guys. A couple of them really stick out to me are the 2 tackles, Keegan Collins and Oliver Miller, both really long, lengthy athletes. Excited for what they have. I was able to get on the road and go watch Oliver Miller play. Terrific kid, terrific family. And, of course, you guys that all know me know that I'm going to call them kids because I consider myself still a kid, so don't ask my age. But it was an awesome day today with flipping Caprice Keith from Iowa State to us, getting the 4 junior college kids, 2 that were previously committed to other schools. So that was a good day as well for us. It really fired up about Lawson McGraw. Obviously, you know the last name McGraw, and it stands for a lot around here. And, we signed him as an athlete. He's going to play tight end probably for us, but he came to camp, performed very well, played both offense and defense for him while he was here. Nick McClellan's another guy from CBC. He was a high school quarterback that we see playing defensive back. Was a standout player in St. Louis area. And then DJ Ackerson is a linebacker out of Oklahoma. We only took 1 linebacker this year just because we signed, I think, 4 in the previous class. But really excited about DJ. I kind of will turn it over for questions, but we're excited about these guys and the class and see what we can do ahead.
How important were the offensive and defensive lines in this class?
With losing Uso, Damien on defensive line, and I'm sure I'm going to miss somebody, but it's important to fill those spots and with guys we feel can play immediately. I didn't hit on CJ, the kid from Alabama. I feel like he's a guy that could come in and has a chance to compete even as a high school guy, and that's really hard to do at this level. Any line, offense or defense, to show up and be ready to play, I think is tough. And I feel the same way about Oliver. I think he's a kid that could come in and probably play maybe as a freshman, just seeing what he could do, and he'll be a mid-year guy.
And with this news breaking this morning, did you have to reach out to any of the recruits and talk to them about what's going on?
Yeah, I was able to talk about all the prospects today, and I think really the thing I hit the most was, you were coming here to be here for 4 to 5 years, correct? And they all say yes. I said, well, during that time, with the landscape of college football and where it's at, there was going to be a change. Whether it was your position coach, a head coach, something, there was going to be change while you were here. This change came a little early. We have obviously had a tremendous head coach and a coach that believed in all of us, our staff, our kids, and this change came quick. But now that it's happened, let's move forward and keep working. I was able to talk to a couple parents too as well, and kind of just voice the same thing. You're going to come to school here for 4 to 5 years. Who knows if the position coach that you signed with will be here anyways? So just with the landscape, and we were all kind of caught off guard today afterwards. But I think with what kind of happened, it helped some of these guys keep their home and have a home for and to come here and play. As you guys know, I went on the road in between Coach Snyder to Kleiman with no head coach for about 4 days, and I was all over the world bouncing around selling Kansas State. Kansas State sells itself because of the people, and I thought Coach did a really good job talking to the people about that today. There's going to be multiple people that are going to touch your lives here, and it's going to be the community and the people around you that are going to do it.
What's the dynamics like to recruit a high school football player from Sweden, other than him coming to camp?
Probably the time change. Hank and did a really good job with that, but the time change, obviously reaching out at different times. You're not going to text them at 8 o'clock at night, because let's think about where let's put the math together on where it is there, and I'm not going to do that. But that's a different that definitely changes it. And then just probably understanding, their seasons are different. What they go through is different. How they train is going to be different. But I know there's been a lot of international kids that have worked out and of lately, and it's cool to get one.
You love the Kansas kids. Other than being a legacy, what else attracted you about Lawson McGraw?
Just a tremendous athlete. He came to camp. Luke Wells loved him, really wanted him. So did the whole offensive staff. I mean, he did a really good job and performing. I mean, he did everything we asked him. We put him on offense for a rep, then defense. We were back-to-back with reps with him. And he just stood out as a guy that wasn't going to say no turn down anything and just kept working. And I think he's just as athletically and as gifted as he is, he's going to play.
Getting a chance to flip Derek and MJ Graham from Hutch, #1 team in the country, getting ready to play for a semifinal, maybe go to the national championship game. Just how important was it for you guys to get Sally and Graham in the fold?
It's awesome getting back into the Jayhawk Conference with them in our backyard. I mean, we have the best junior college in the country right here, and to get two from there, it's huge. Being a Butler guy, I'm a little on the other side, but no, they're unbelievable, and Coach Dallas does an unbelievable job there. And he's a guy that grew up in Salina and understands, and it's great that our GM with Coach Brown understands how important junior college kids are, and they're right here. They were able to make up a trip during the day just to come see us practice, and then they took an official visit someplace else, and then we got them back up here. And that was the most important part, was our staff being in constant communication with these guys and really just doing their part to get these kids back up here.
You touched on Lawson being a Kansas kid, but you also signed LaMarcus Barber from Mill Valley. I was just wondering if you could kind of talk about him.
Yeah, LaMarcus is awesome. He originally grew up in Junction City, so it was really great to kind of get a guy from that area. He's a hard worker. He's a great kid. His media stuff on Sports in Kansas is always funny because he's always talking about how he's going to go after somebody in a game. But I'm excited to see what he does here, and I think he's got a bright future.
Signing Miles Teodecki, really, really successful junior season down there with quarterback in Austin, Texas. He's a lefty. Does that present any unique challenges for you in the recruiting process?
No, if the staff's comfortable with it, I'm ready to go. And Coach Wells was fired up to get a guy who was a state champ in Texas to recruit him. I think that says a lot. I mean, if you're a state champ, and they're still playing right now, if you're a state champ in Texas and you got a chance, I mean, that says a lot about the player, the leader, and all those things about that guy.
Tell me a little bit more about Oliver Miller, just the backstory on him, and then what caught your eye, and what kind of potential does he have?
Well, they have a powerhouse high school. They're going to play in the state championship this weekend. We also signed Max Lovett, the wide receiver from the same high school. He's just a tremendously long athlete, and the coaches there were so high on him, and they think he's a special player. And, he made us battle a little bit towards the end because a lot of places were coming in on him. His senior tape is unbelievable, and I thought Coach LePac did a really good job, and again with the offensive staff, building that relationship with those guys and the belief that he can come here and play. It's close enough to home, which I think is intriguing too, because his family can get to and from. It's only one highway, so and we're both north of I-70, so it's an easy get.
DJ Ackerson for Putnam. Tell me about him.
DJ, really great young man, smart, very religious. He's an awesome. I'm so excited to have him. Coach Standard did a really good job getting out and seeing him. He's going to be, I think, a really special player. And being that we only took one linebacker, we had to make sure we got a guy that we thought could come in and be that guy. And from the start, he's been important ever since he's been on campus. And I think he even came up for spring practice and was here in April. And it was so important to get him back for his official visit. And we even set his official visit late just so we could hold on and be the last touch on him. And then to close out the class and getting him, that was good, awesome.
First contact with Derek Sally and how that relationship progressed and how special he can be.
Yeah, Derek Sally is a tremendous wide receiver. Hearing from Coach Dallas and what he said about him, also Coach Wallerstadt, who's a former player here, who's the defensive coordinator there. He calls him Mustang Sally, and he says no one touches him at practice. He goes, I'm just glad we're not playing against him. So I thought that was a pretty good sign. He'll be a good fit, and along with MJ. It's great getting two guys from the same school because at least they got someone to lean on in their time here.
You're bringing in two running backs from Texas. What do you like about what those guys are bringing in?
I mean, I think one's a power back and one's a versatile back that can play in space. They bring toughness. I mean, they're the accountability, all those things that you want in running backs and what we need right now. So excited for what the future is. HD is from a really small town in Texas, so that's pretty cool. And then Tanner's from Houston, and it's great to get a Houston kid, especially in that Katy school district.
How much did the way the season play out maybe adjust some things in your guys' recruiting this year?
Winning helps. And, we battled this season. We had so many close games and so many close calls. And, I'm on a group Snapchat with all these guys, and they're all fired up after every game. Win or loss, I mean, they were all pretty bought in, and they understood it's for K-State and the purpose of K-State and what it stands for. And that's probably the coolest part about recruiting guys and them is the buy-in, whether you win or lose. And, a lot of them saw it as tough, man. That was, man, I can't believe it. We were so close, man. It was so close. Then we had some really great wins. I mean, they loved what we did down the road. I mean, that was awesome. And they love what we've done here with all the players in the Midwest. I mean, we've done a really good job with Midwest guys and developing them. So I think that's what they see more than anything else.
In the past, you guys have really, really built your class, you know, from Kansas and in the Kansas City area, and maybe not so much that flair this year. What unique challenges do you think it was trying to build just from outside of that base?
You know, it was cool getting – I mean, we've always recruited the Midwest hard, and it was great because we got 5 guys from Texas, which was a big number from us, and 4 from Missouri, 3 from Oklahoma, 2 from Colorado. So, I mean, you really talk about the surrounding states and just trying to land the best ones that fit us and who we are with accountability, blue-collar, tough, fit the K-State way. And so it was definitely interesting to only get 2 in state, but that's all right. You know, I always talked about it before. Sometimes the state has a ton of players, sometimes it doesn't. And, you know, we'll see what we can do next year and excited to get after it.